Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening show today. And well, in this Cricket Happening show we are going to see have a look at two matches. One is between England and India. England are definitely heading for a series win here. We will talk about that, and then we'll also look at how the Sri Lankans actually replied to the Australian score of 450 that they made and they declared, as you know. So we'll look at Tilakatne Dilshan centuries, which was the first for him in Australia, and he was absolutely overjoyed when he got that century. I will talk about that. And basically, what we are looking at is England. We are looking at definitely a series win, but it's very interestingly poised on the final day. And what a way for the series to end tomorrow when both the teams, for India they had to level the series, but it is probably the only chances there are for England to draw the series and ensure that they go on to a 2-1 series victory, and that's what they are precisely trying to do. Australia, well, they are absolutely in the lead. I would say right now we could say that Australia are in the driver's seat. Well, so first what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a look at yesterday's proceedings, that is the 4 days play, where India resumed at the overnight score, and I was telling you whether India can inch towards that 330 made by England. Well, they were doing that very well, but Mahendra Singh Dhoni decided to declare because a lot of overs were consumed, and he also realized that for India they have nothing to lose because already they have it's 2-1 for England, and if at all India has to really force a win in this, is the only way that they could do it. So what Mahendra Singh Dhoni did is he actually declared the innings close at 326 for 9, with Ravichandran Ashwin remaining unbeaten 29 of 65 balls. Pragyan Ojha was the only wicket to go. Panesar getting his first wicket of the innings as Ojha was bowled with Panesar for 3, and Ishant Sharma remained not out on 2. 326 for 9. Panesar, as I was the only wicket taker yesterday. He got his first wicket, 52 overs, 15 maidens, 81 runs and 1 wicket. As far as England were concerned, so it was a very slender lead of just 4 runs, and England finished their close of play on 161 for 3. Essentially they're 165 ahead, and as you know, it's the final day tomorrow. Well, as far as England were concerned, Alistair Cook, the captain, left early. He was the first victim, but one could really see what England were doing. England were trying to occupy the crease because they want to ensure that India don't even get a foot in the door to actually go and seal the series. So that's a precise reason. If you look at the batsmen, how they played, Alistair Cook, 13 runs, he occupied 93 deliveries and with just 1 boundary, and he was the first victim as Ashwin actually had him caught behind for 13. So first wicket to go. Jonathan Trott joined Nick Compton. Nick Compton continued to impress with his defensive technique, and as you know, he's a real stonewaller. He contributed 34 runs of 135 balls with 1-4. Probably one gets the feeling that England are trying to make things safe here because they just want to go to a 2-1 series win. They don't want to take chances and probably put mud on themselves, and that's the precise reason they decided to occupy the crease. Nick Compton was LBW bowled Ojha for 34. Jonathan Trott and Kevin Pietersen was the crease, but Kevin Pietersen was dismissed in fashion when Jonathan Trott was dismissed in the first innings, with Kevin Pietersen shouldering arms to a Ravindra Jadeja left arm spinner's delivery, and he was clean bowled by Jadeja for 6 of 30 balls with 1-4, and England were 94 for 3 at that stage, with Jonathan Trott and Ian Bell in the middle. Now Jonathan Trott and Ian Bell, as you know, they are the ones who can really occupy the crease to whatever extent one can talk about, because they are absolute stonewallers, and that's what they precisely did. But they were defending well, both of them, and Jonathan Trott, well, one definitely saw some strokes being unfurled by Jonathan Trott. He was back to that old Jonathan Trott that we know about, because his driving was superb. He off-drove a lot of balls, he cover-drove, and Jonathan Trott, well, there was a sort of needle going on between England and India. So probably Ishant Sharma actually going to Jonathan Trott, probably there was a caught behind decision which was not given, and the next ball, in fact, Jonathan Trott blowing a kiss to Ishant Sharma. Then we saw Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Virat Kohli getting involved at the end of the over with the umpires. So sort of a sort of needle going on between India and England. But anyway, it all stayed like that. And Jonathan Trott and Ian Bell saw to it that they didn't lose any wicket and took them towards the close at 161 for 3, with Jonathan Trott's contribution being an unbeaten 66 with 9 boundaries. He occupied 153 balls. Ian Bell had a composed 24 not out to his name of 67 balls with 4 fours. England finishing off the day at 161 for 3 with only 1 day to go in the series for the test series to end. Bowling figures: Ishant Sharma 12 overs 3 maidens, none for 27, probably a bit unlucky not to get the wicket of Jonathan Trott there. Pragyan Ojha 23 overs 10 maidens, 1 for 39. Ashwin 18 overs 9 maidens, 1 for 34. Piyush Chawla 10 overs 2 maidens, none for 20. Jadeja 16 overs 9 maiden, 1 for 27. Now, what is very, very interesting, as I said, England are trying to occupy the crease. They want to ensure that they go on with the 2-1 series win. For India, the final day, well, unless and until India can really bowl England out probably in the first session itself. So that would be a wishful thinking if they can do that. But looking at the way England are, you see Jonathan Trott and Ian Bell. But one thing one has to really remember, the 5th day, the final day of the pitch, there could be lots of wear and tear. There could be some marks there, foot marks, which the spinners could exploit. So always one has to give a chance there. But if England can do that, roll England out in the first session, and then probably, even though they'll have a good target, India can really have a good hit at that. It'll be interesting, but again, that is not going to be easy, because if you look at the batting order of England, Jonathan Trott and Bell already well entrenched at the crease, and then Joe Root to follow. What a debut he had, and then Matt Pryor. So I mean, that is something which is absolutely out of the equation, unless India is really going to produce something out of the hat tomorrow to have the Englishmen bowled out in the final session, which according to me is not a real possibility, but probably not ruled out. As I said, it's the 5th and final day. And for India, well, England will definitely ensure that they go on with the 2-1 series win. And as far as India are concerned, whatever target England sets, I'm sure India will go for it. But looking at things, it looks to be a draw and looks to be a 2-1 series win for England. Well, now I'm getting away from here. I'm going to Hobart and just talking about Sri Lanka. As you know, the other day they were struggling to the Australia's first innings score of 450 from I declared. But today, even though the chips were down at 87 for 4, this partnership of Tilakatne Dilshan, who today was a different Tilakatne Dilshan, he played some very attacking strokes on the offside. His driving, he was getting a lot of runs through the point region, and complementing him was Angelo Matthews, the future captain of Sri Lanka. He was doing a magnificent job there. What was good about Angelo Matthews? Good use of the feet against the spinners, especially Nathan Lyon, and he also played some very good pull strokes, and both of them really gave Australia no reward. In fact, there was rain which interrupted, early lunch was taken, but absolutely unruffled Tilakatne Dilshan and Angelo Matthews carried on in that fashion, and they went on to a very big partnership. In fact, it was a 175 run partnership, 161 run partnership, and this was the highest partnership that Sri Lanka ever had in Australia for the 5th wicket, which was a record. And not only that, Tilakatne Dilshan went going on to make his first test century against Australia in Australia. So that was a big plus for Tilakatne Dilshan. He was absolutely overjoyed. As I said, there was some attacking stroke play from Dilshan. He contributed 147 runs. Look at it, he had 21 fours in that knock, which was studded with a lot of boundaries, and he played his own attacking self. Angelo Matthews mixing up defense, but also let me tell you, if you look at Tilakatne Dilshan's knock, 147 of 273 balls, so which is not expected from Dilshan, but Dilshan really played with lot of test match maturity. He really blocked a lot of balls, but whenever he got an opportunity, he really went on and stroked the ball with lots of power and great timing. So 147 was the contribution. So that was the silver lining for Sri Lanka, because from 87 for 4 the score went on to 248. After that, Matthews, that was the time Siddle came in. Siddle was the one who started doing things because he had a 5-wicket haul. In fact, they had a lot of problems, Australia, because they're, as you know, they are having a lot of injury problems to their pace bowlers. There's no Pattinson, there is, and now the other one was Ben Hilfenhaus, had to go back because of some injury, some strain, and one only hopes he comes back. But he wouldn't bowl any, take any further part in the game on this particular day, that is on the third day's play. And Dilshan, as I said, 147, 21 boundaries. Matthews went on to make 75 with 11 boundaries. Prasanna Jayawardene chipped in with 40 runs to his name. He got a good partnership going with along with Dilshan, and that was another good knock from Prasanna Jayawardene under the circumstances. 40 of 56 balls with 6 fours. Kulashekara contributed 23 with 1 4 and 2 sixes. Ranganayake, after that it was just wrapped up by Peter Siddle. Peter Siddle came in, he picked up the wicket of Ranganayake at LBW for a duck. Vellagadra was gone for a duck, and Eranga remained not out on 5. Dilshan was a victim of Mitchell Starc. Mitchell Starc getting his first wicket, as far as, in fact, it was his this was his first wicket in the innings. So he had 1 for 104, but Peter Siddle was the man who came in and disturbed that partnership between Dilshan and Angelo Matthews. And not only that, he went on to take a 5-wicket bag. And how many times you have seen that Michael Clarke, the Australian captain, has to always resort to Peter Siddle. Peter Siddle, as you know, he bowled long overs in South Africa due to the injury to James Pattinson. Today there was no Ben Hilfenhaus, and the burden has to be shouldered by Peter Siddle and Mitchell Starc. But Peter Siddle, 25.3 overs, 11 maidens, 54 runs and 5 wickets. Tremendous bowling from Peter Siddle, bowled with lots of pace, kept the batsmen tied down. It increased the frustration of the Sri Lankans, and they started losing their wickets. He got a lot of LBW decisions, as you see. He had Angelo Matthews LBW for 75, Jayawardene LBW for 40. He had Ranganayake LBW for 23. 336 all out, thus giving a 114 runs lead to Australia. Look at the bowling figure. Starc 1 for 104. As I said, Siddle was the bowler of the day, 5 for 54. Tremendous bowling by Peter Siddle. 1 for 104 for Mitchell Starc. Only wicket he got of Dilshan, that was a very important wicket. Hilfenhaus 1 for 30. Nathan Lyon 2 for 76 of 25 overs and 8 maidens. Shane Watson 1 for 55, and Michael Clarke bowled 2 overs for 9 runs. As far as Australia were concerned, they finished on the third day's play at the end of third day with a score of 27 for no loss. But I would say they survived. There were a lot of edges. They lived a bit dangerously, but in the end, yes, Ed Cowan had an unbeaten 16 to his name with 2 boundaries. Dave Warner was not out on 8 of 39 balls with 1 4. 27 for no loss was the final tally for Australia at the end of the third day. So that makes it essentially 141 in the lead. I thought they are doing well. We are going into the fourth day now. Kulashekara 6 overs 3 maidens, none for 10. Vellagadra 5 overs 1 maiden, none for 10. Dilshan bowled 2 overs for 2, and Eranga just bowled a solitary over for 4 runs. So this match also looks good. There is some turn, some uneven bounce, but probably Australia will like to put up some quick runs on the board today and put the pressure right on Sri Lanka so that Australia can go and try to win this test match. How things pan out, we will know when the play starts here at Tasmania, at Hobart in Tasmania, at the Bellary Oval today. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, so we have 2 interesting matches going on. Today is the last day of the test series between England and India, which has been pretty interesting. England have been definitely holding the upper hand, and whether England go on to a 2-1 series win, whether that's going to happen, one has to wait and watch. Well, other than that, 2-1 series win is absolutely sure, because either the match could end in a result, or definitely the match is heading towards a draw, in my opinion. But being a 5th and final day, well, as you know, cricket is a game of gross uncertainties. Anything can just come up, and things could just be drastically different. Well, one only hope that happens. That's it from me, your host Ram, for the Cricket Show of today. See you all tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.